So good evening, many thanks for attending our presentation today. My name is Caroline O'Sullivan and I work in the HR department in Mazars. I'm joined by my colleague Kevin, who is a trainee in our audit and assurance department. So tonight we just want to give you a bit of information about what we have on offer. So just to give you a bit of an introduction, Mazars is a European firm. Our roots are there, but we are actually an international firm all over the world in 69 countries with 13,000 employees. In Ireland we have offices in Dublin and Galway. We have about 200 staff in Dublin and then 20 in Galway, and 70 partners and 200 staff, as I said. So this year we have 20 places on offer in our audit and tax department. So what we have on offer is basically a 3.5 year training contract, obviously dependent on your exemptions, where you train in either the audit or the tax department. The great thing about working in Mazars is that while you will go into either one of those, depending on what your preference is, you will get exposure to all different areas, and you will get great experience by the end of your training contract. So Kevin's just going to give you a bit of give you an introduction about how his experience has been going over the last 2 years, and then I'll just finish off and tell you about the process and what we actually look for in our candidates.
Hi everyone, as it says up there, my name is Kevin O'Connell. I'm currently going to my 3rd year as a trainee in Mazars. A bit about myself, my educational background is I studied civil engineering in Trinity College. Started that in 2004, which was obviously a great time to start civil engineering. Finished in 2008, which wasn't the best time to finish a civil engineering degree, but all said, I went into DIT to do a postgraduate diploma in accounting. So I decided at that stage this was one thing I wanted to go into, so I paid for it myself, went into the PDA, and as I started the PDA I would have been in a situation like yourselves, going to these type of talks, going to careers fairs. And for me, I just want to talk to you today about why I picked Mazars and my experience so far. So for me, why Mazars was the people, and it was the opportunities provided to me at the time with Mazars. Mazars is a global firm, as Caroline said already, in 69 countries. It has that pull where it can bring in big clients, but we're also in a medium size in Ireland, so you still get that exposure to an awful lot of different types of industries. So for example, I have variety written there. Didn't know that was touchscreen, sorry. I have variety written there. My experience so far has been, I've gotten to work in the insurance industry, banking, trade unions, sporting associations, I've even done accounts for a pub. So I'm not pigeonholed into one certain area like banking, where I'm doing bank reconciliations all day. The career, obviously a career in accounting, working for Mazars, they do give you that opportunity to progress. Hopefully now when I finish my training contract, when I stay on with Mazars, there's quite a good progression to assistant manager, manager, director. The next one there is responsibility, is written up on the screen. They give you quite a good level of responsibility straight away, whereas you're not. If you show the capability and the drive, the interest to work hard, to train hard, they will give you that level of responsibility early on, which is always good, especially when you're doing things like your exams. We have audit exam, let's say in your CAP 2s, we see the whole process from start to finish when we're doing audits, because we are given that level of responsibility early, where we see the entire process. WLB is a real accounting term, the work-life balance. It's, to be honest, we get out of work early, we work hard, and we don't have to do all the god-awful hours that you might hear about in some other places. Obviously, busy season, when it's busy in January, you have to put in an extra couple hours here and there, but generally it's quite good. And also, last thing is training. Our training is, we get in-house training, so obviously when you first come in you do a couple of weeks training, which gives you that confidence and that drive to go out when you start in the workplace. So you get good exposure when you go out, but you're obviously given the training as well, and that happens throughout the year as well. And also for your exam training, they do in-house exam training, and we have Michael Tooley there, who is one of the Institute lecturers actually, who gives us exam training as well, which is a great help. The people as well. There's a great spirit in the office in Mazars, where the gap between someone starting off as a trainee and a manager, there's always a very approachable gap there, where it's very easy to socialise, because in the office everyone gets along and everyone knows each other. the interaction between partners and trainees. There's an open door policy, and they say open door, which is literally their door is always open. And it's great that if you ever do have a problem or if you need advice on something, there's always a door there and someone you can talk to. And they're always great as well. If there's a social event, they'll always be keen to talk to the trainees. A list there for our social events. We actually have weekly soccer. Tuesday night is one thing where we play with the managers, trainees, partners, etc. Staff nights out, the laughter lounge. They're just random things we've done throughout the year. And I think that's everything from me. So thank you very much. I'll hand you back to Caroline.
So just to finish off, I just want to obviously just tell you about the type of candidates that we actually look for. So in terms of background, we don't necessarily want candidates that come from an accounting or a business background. You can come from other backgrounds. You know, we have a very diverse range of individuals in Mazars, and that kind of adds to our unique culture. And we want people who are obviously, you know, driven and career orientated, that aren't just going to take a back seat, but really, you know, get stuck into the work and want to continuously progress. The opportunities are there for you in Mazars, and you're not confined by being, you know, a year one trainee. If you have the capability, we want you to grasp that and to progress as much as possible. In terms of communication skills then, obviously, I mean, I think that's, you know, a given, because you're obviously out with clients from day one and you're also working in teams, so it's very important to always be establishing effective relationships. And then obviously enjoying diversity and challenge. So no 2 days are ever going to be the same. And you know, if you are kind of orientated towards a tried and trusted way of doing things, Mazars is not going to be for you, because you do get that kind of wide exposure to a number of different areas, and you need to be able to obviously get stuck in from the beginning. So just in terms of the process, I just want to give you a bit of information about what's actually involved. Our deadline is next Wednesday, the 17th of October, so you have to fill out an online application on mazarscareers.ie. The form shouldn't take you too long, but I would emphasise that you obviously put a good effort into it, obviously proofread it, and really kind of give us information that lets us get to know you as a person, because the competition is high. We do receive like up to 1,000 applications, and you want to obviously put your best foot forward. So in terms then of the process afterwards, if you are selected for interview, we have like a 4-step process where you're invited to an interview, and you do an aptitude test and a lunch, and then finally an open evening. The whole process is very open and informal, and is designed for you to get to know us as well, because you know, you are in a very daunting position. You're making, you know, one of the biggest decisions of your life after college, and we want you to make the right decision for you as well. I think it very much comes down to instinct as well. You'll do your research, you'll know exactly what the firms are offering. But for me, when I was joining 7 years ago, when I met my interviewers, I knew instinctively this was the place for me, because of the opportunities it would give me, and also from the people. I just knew that I would get on well there. So I've finished now, so I know that I think we're going outside again, and if you would like to obviously approach us for any questions, we do have brochures, and are obviously happy to answer any questions.